My name is Dr. Suleiman Abubakar Krim. I'm a consultant family physician as well as the head of family medicine department.
Good day and welcome to Family Life here on Haske TV. My name is Happiness Itari, and together on today's episode I have my co-host Faith John. Faith, you look dashing today.
Thank you.
So I join with glass. Today is a serious topic.
It is.
Well, I welcome you once again to another exciting episode of Family Life. And always we bring you edifying teachings or topics that will help create bonds between family members that can't be broken. And on today's episode, we will be talking about something that concerns every home that is rarely talked about. Some things that happen, and most of the times they draw the carpets to cover it. We'll be talking about child abuse. Child abuse that happen in the home. In fact, it starts from the home, and most times child abuse is being covered. Children are being told not to talk. Parents cover it because it will tarnish the image of the family. But it is something that is gradually breaking every home when not talked about. And when these children don't seek help, it gradually breaks them. So today we are here to dissect, to know the signs when a child is passing through an abuse and nobody knows, or when a parent is abusing this child and then the issue is not handled. So when we say child abuse, most people would think maybe it is about beating a child, but it's more than that.
Yes, it's beyond that. It's intentionally hurting a child or harming the child. It can be physical, that's in the beating.
Yes.
It can be in the form of neglect. It can also be sexual abuse.
Yeah.
Also, so.
And all these are parts of the abuses that children face, and it starts from the home. And then rarely people don't talk about them. It affects the child, it affects the bonds that happen between the family members. Talking about physical abuse, when a parent constantly beats a child, it will leave a scar on the child's body that when this child grows up, he sees this is what happened to me because of this. Yes, a parent might be angry and then you want to beat the child, but when you punish this child extreme, leaving a scar on the child, it becomes an abuse. There are simpler ways to punish a child without leaving any scar on the child. But when this punishment leads to the child having injuries, scars, damaging their body physically, you just know that the child is already going through an abuse, and it is termed child abuse. Don't think child abuse is when the child have any punishment physically facing in the family, then it becomes child abuse. It goes beyond that. So child abuse is any damaging problem, should I say, on a child that affects the child physically, mentally, psychologically, or otherwise. Anything that damages the child's mental health is an abuse, whether it is seen physically or emotionally. So as parents, we do this carelessly, in fact, unknowingly. Like talking about the emotional abuse. Parents carelessly say things to their children that they don't know how it affects them. Like telling your child you are good for nothing because of the mistake the child did at that time. You tell a child you are good for nothing. The child will just carry it. My parents said I'm good for nothing. Maybe there is nothing good about me that the society will benefit. So the child just grow up with that thought.
Yes. I met a lady recently, and she was just telling me how verbal abuse. Maybe the parents just felt that they were joking, and they kept on telling her, "You have big head, see your face,"
and they don't know how it's affecting. You see.
So in the long run, she grew up not to like herself. So
it's already damaging.
Yes.
You are already damaging that child's mental health towards thinking that this is what it is about me. No matter what I do, this is what has been said, and the child will start keying into such habit. Then talking about another kind of abuse, neglect.
Yes.
When a parent neglects the needs of a child, you're already abusing that child. These needs, like providing food, shelter, clothing, attention. In fact, being responsible for that child. When a parent stops being responsible for a child, it is also a form of an abuse to that child.
Yes.
When a child needs food and the parent did not provide, you know, there some people say if you are not ready to be a parent, don't even give birth to the child. But once you already have a child, just know that a lot is on your head and you must meet that child's responsibility. So when that child doesn't have those needs provided, like food, it will make the child to go out to get food, to start fending for himself. Maybe start stealing, because since he cannot afford it to buy, you start stealing it, jumping fences, stealing people's food and all that. It may make a child to indulge in some activities just to get ends meet for himself, because parents are not there to provide what is needed. And in situations where you have parents that are always busy, they don't have time for the children, you're already abusing that child in the form of neglect and not giving the child attention. We are not saying you should not go out to fend for the family, but always have time for your kids. Have time for family together to know what they need. Children love attention, and when they don't get this attention, they will seek it outside. Okay, what happened when you are already out? You are already out there looking for the money, looking for provision for the family, and you don't know what is going on with your children. Maybe this child will go out, like a girl child, that she's growing up, she's seeing changes in her body, and the mother is not always there to answer the questions troubling her heart. You know, definitely she should go out and seek advice from someone. And then if she unfortunately falls into the wrong hand, they will give her wrong advice, and you thereby see that your child is now behaving somehow, have gone into a different habit that you don't understand. So things are really happening that parents are abusing their children unknowingly. That it is a call for us all as parents to come back and check, what have I done that I don't know, but it's actually an abuse to my child. If you are not responsible for the child that you gave birth to, just know that you are abusing that child already. You have neglected that child. It's as if the child is on his own to fend for himself, and it will push the child to go into some activities that he might not really want to do. Maybe they tell you, if you do not do this, you will not get this. So for him, the only way I could get this is for me to comply and join them. So as parents, we need to give our children the full attention they will need in order to become better. Remember, this program, we are aimed at creating bond between families that can't be broken. So if you abuse your child in any form, just know that you're already breaking the family bond. And a broken child will most of the times grow up to become an abuser also. He will extend the circle to other people. You say, I grew up seeing this and nobody talked about it. I will actually do it to another person. Talking about sexual abuse, most things that happen in the family. You have a father abusing a child, his own daughter, or the mother abusing the son. And when this child wants to speak up, you will see the father or the mother will say, don't talk. If you talk and they send your father to prison, who will take care of us? The child will keep quiet, considering the fact that if my father is now in prison, who will now feed the family? Is it the mother? Where will we get help? Then you keep quiet and begin to endure the abuse coming from any of the parent or any of the family relation. A family that is meant to protect the child is not the one hurting the child. You know, a child that will grow up in such an abuse environment will grow up to have fear.
Yes.
To have fear that if I mingle with these kind of people, they might also abuse me. And he will grow up to also inflict others under him. In the case of this girl, Ochanya. Ochanya passed through this. We don't know the condition that was given to her. Maybe if she had wanted to talk, to be safe at that time, but she could not say anything. If I thought Ochanya said something at that time, maybe she would have gotten the needed help. But I think the abuser may have inflicted a threat on her that made her to keep quiet. But didn't you know that community will have come in this aspect? the community around, the neighbors, if they had watched Ochanya at that time to notice the signs of abuse that we are about to talk about, if they had noticed those signs in her, they may have seek advice. You know, we have NAPTIP. This is the body that is in charge of all these kind of criminal acts to catch people and apprehend them and bring them to justice for all these things. You know, if the community would check, even though these children are passing through this abuse in the home, but they cannot say it because of the fear of the abuser, and they cannot, and the community or a neighbor have noticed it, you can quickly call NAPTIP. NAPTIP will come in and intervene and seek help for this child. But if the community did not also play a role, definitely this child will suffer silently and grow up to be an abuser, to be somebody that he is not even prepared to be. Maybe he has a very bright and promising future, but because of this abuse, it has damaged his mental health. He won't think straight again. You say, the world is not like this. Then let's follow the trend. You grow up to be an abuser. You are thinking again. Well, there are so many things to talk about on the issue of child abuse, and it is not something that we are encouraging. Say no to child abuse. Just know that a child is not a property. A child is a person just like you. Are you happy inflicting the pain you are putting to this child, that if you are the one going through? Okay, peradventure you say it is a cycle that you had experienced, so you want to inflict on others. You need help. And this help is ever ready there. You need help, you can go to a counselor, a pastor, an imam, or a trusted person that you can meet for the person to help you get the necessary help. Because you cannot continue living in pain, in regret, and inflicting other people with what you pass through. Child abuse is not something that it should be promoted, but we are here saying no to it, condemning it in any form. Don't see a child as if it's a property. Don't see a child as if it's an object that you can toy with. A child is a person. You were once a child. If you were treated in that manner you are giving to that child at the moment, then you need help. You need help at this time. And as we said, you need help. NAPTIP can come in to help, or you can go to a pastor, an imam, a counselor, or a trusted person to help you get help. Because you alone cannot help yourself. The first step in getting help is for you to realize that you need help yourself. Yeah. So if you realize yourself that you need help, then you should take the necessary step in getting this help. Don't forget, this is family life, and we are here to help create bonds between family members that can't be broken. Family is a beautiful thing. Family is a very sweet and an enjoyable environment where we all ought to live in peace and in harmony together. But if there's anything that will come in between family members to break them, we are saying no to it. And child abuse is one of the things that is breaking homes. So if you are an abuser listening to me right now, it's time for you to say no to it. Break the cycle. Stop it. Realize within yourself that you need help. Then seek the necessary help to get help for yourself. And if you, an abused person, someone going through an abuse, and have been told to keep quiet and not to say anything because of the threats that has been inflicted in you not to talk, you're listening and watching me this moment, seek help. If you cannot go to them directly, or if you cannot confront your abuser to stop what he or she is doing to you, you can speak to a trusted neighbor, a pastor, an imam, or someone you can trust to help you get the necessary help at the moment. But if you keep quiet, you will grow up to be a distressed person. You will be full of anger, anxiety, nothing good. You will not see anything good come your way because you're already passing through pain. So we are advocating that you should seek help and say no to child abuse. Don't forget, we are talking about child abuse here on Family Life. We'll take a short break and we will continue after this break. Don't forget, this is Family Life.
Currently the acting head of clinical services for American Center Jalingo. Lassa fever is a disease that is caused by a virus. There are pathogens that causes diseases. Lassa fever is caused by a virus, and these viruses are usually harbored by rats. And when an individual comes in contact with these rats, either through their excreta, through their feces, through their urine, or even through their saliva, when they come in contact with human food, somebody gets exposed to the virus. So, and when this virus enters the body, it causes fever, it causes body pain, it causes weakness, just like the way malaria is. So such illnesses that is characterized by fever, body pain, headache, and what have you, resulting from coming in contact with this.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Family Life here on Haske TV, and so far we've been talking about child abuse. We've dissected to know the different kind of abuses children pass through from the home, which has broken these children, in fact have destroyed families a lot. So we want to know about the signs that can be seen in a child, because we say even the child that cannot voice himself out, or the abuser will not stop abusing the child, community also have a way to come in and help this child. So what are these signs that if you see a child go through or is going through at the moment, you will know that this child is going through an abuse?
Yes. So first of all, when we talk about physical abuse, the signs are usually obvious. Maybe you see the bruises on the child's body. Then there could be anxiety or fear for a particular adult. So just have that fear and then withdrawal.
It is the kind of person that they are abusing. So you see that kind of person, you will be scared.
And then maybe the child was cheerful. If you just notice that once cheerful child just starts withdrawing
to himself. You just know
is wrong.
Things are going on, and it is high time for community to now come in and help this child. Because if we do not help this child, he will grow up to be an abuser. Who knows? He will come and abuse your own child. So it is a responsibility of everyone. If you notice the signs in any child, talking about neglect, you know a child that has father and mother, but is always out there looking hungry, looking tattered, you should know that this child is already going through an abuse of neglect, and you should come in. Even though there are some parents that are very, very stubborn and harsh, if you tell them that we notice this in your child, or what is going on, they'll ask you, who sent you? Is it your family? This is our matter, so don't even come into it. You know that in this situation, the only thing for you to do is just employ the services of NAPTI, the body in charge of handling cases like this, cases like rape, crime, abuses. You can just involve them, or human rights, women affairs. They are there. You involve them to help you, because most of the time, if you call the attention of parents to check on why their children are going out begging and doing all this, and they will ask you, is it your problem? Yes, they will try to even insult you there. But because you are out to help this child that is being abused, you will involve these bodies. They will help this child. Seek the necessary help. The earlier, the better. But if this child is being left out, regrettably, just like the case of Ochanya, she died as the result of the rape, the constant rape she passed through with her uncle and his children. These are her families. She passed through that till she died. If she had gotten the help by the community who observed her at that time, I know the story wouldn't be like this. But now, community, you have to come in. You are listening and watching me now. Check around you. Is there someone going through an abuse that you don't know? Do you notice any child in your area going through something similarly that we just mentioned here? Those signs, are you noticing them? It is time for you to pick up, try to get help from this child. It may be the habit of the child. There are children that decide to just spoil on their own due to peer pressure. You can also find out to see whether it is peer pressure, so that this child can get the needed help at that moment. If you neglect this child at this time, he will grow up to be an abuser. He will grow up to be somebody that he's not meant to be. He will grow up to carry a character that he is not supposed to be his own, and he will extend it to others out there. So it is also our responsibility as community completely to come in and help any child whatsoever that you have noticed these signs we mentioned. Don't forget, these signs are there. We have the physical one. You see any bruises on your child that the child cannot explain. He have injury in any part of his body, but he's telling you a different thing. There are abuses that come from school too. When you have seniors bullying the junior, and then this child will not come and tell his parent. He's quiet because they tell him that if you say it, we will report you. Maybe they collect his food in school to eat, telling him to keep quiet, and you see your child getting slimmer and slimmer and is not looking healthy. You didn't know that this child has been starved from the school. He doesn't eat what he takes to school because of the bullies he gets in school. So try also as parents to create a good relationship with your children, that any little thing they will easily come to you. Give them this forum to come to you and say their mind without you condemning them. Sometimes some parents will condemn the children. If you were not there, why would they insult you or bully you in that aspect? Learn to understand these children. Yeah. Every child has his how will I put it?
Every child is unique.
Any child is unique, yeah. And there's a point where a child can break down. Yeah. So when it comes to you as a parent, yeah. Don't send them away. Just listen to them. Then come in a way to encourage them. If you give them listening ears, it will make them to report any activity going on. If an uncle is touching the child in an inappropriate way, he can easily come and report. But if you did not create the forum for your child to come to you and tell you this and that, then already this child will be passing through a pain that even you will not be able to rescue the child at that moment. So we are here to discourage child abuse of any form, whether it's coming from the society, coming from the family, coming from school. There are things happening that if we did not check, we'll be like, is it my child? Is it my family? It will come back to you. You don't know. So the earlier the better. We take on this chance, this opportunity to get the help for the child that we notice these signs in them, to help have a brighter future. Talking about sexual abuse, a child that is going through that abuse might not want to say it because of the fear of what the society will say. They may even point and say, this child is somebody that was once raped or this, that. Yes, they will pass through that, but if you are this victim listening to me now, you need help. Because if you do not get the necessary help, you will grow up to be an abuser yourself, or grow up to be somebody that don't have interest in relationship. Grow up to be somebody that wouldn't want to build a family because of the past experience you've had. And we are here discouraging child abuse of any form, because this abuse is really affecting children mentally, psychologically, and their output will be very low. You see your child coming back from school having a low grade from what you know this child to be. It is also something that is affecting them academically. So child abuse of any form is not something we encourage. We are rather discouraging it. Stop telling your child you are useless. Stop telling your child you have big head. Stop telling your child you carry your father's habits. These little things are posing damage on a child. Rather, encourage this child. Tell the child, you are doing this. Don't you know that you are better than this? You can do better. So, encourage these children to do better rather than discouraging them. Telling them hurtful things that they will grow up with it and even extend it to their children. We have many things to say, but time is not on our side. I don't know, Faith, you have any word of advice to our parents out there or to any child out there before we conclude?
Any child undergoing abuse, like you have said, they should speak up, and then they should learn how to forgive. They shouldn't harbor bitterness in their hearts. So, because I noticed that sometimes this bitterness tends to harden their heart. So once you go out, you speak, just find a way to just let it go, let it go. and then try not to do the same to others.
Same to others.
Yes.
For us to have a better and a brighter future.
Yes.
So as we conclude and wrap up on today's episode of Family Life, don't forget, every child is a person and not a property.
Yeah.
Treat every child with respect, just the way you will treat yourself. If you are an abuser, we are encouraging you to first realize that you are already passing through a problem that you need help at this particular moment, and you should seek help. And if you are a victim that have gone through abuse or is going through an abuse, seek help also. If you cannot fight your abuser, seek help. Get the necessary help. As we said earlier, go to your pastor, your imam, a counselor, a trusted friend. You can also involve NAPTIP if you have the ability to. The community can also come in a way to help by seeking help from NAPTIP, or you yourself can involve in getting the necessary help for this child, because every child is worth living, is worth respected. Respect every child and treat every child equally. Do not disrespect a child. Do not treat a child as if it's a property. A child is a person, a human being. Until next episodes, I remain Happiness Sotari and my co-host
Faith.
For now, we say bye. Don't
Bye.
forget, say no to child abuse.
Virus we call Lassa virus is what we mean by Lassa fever. Yes, the transmission is in 2 stages. One, an individual that